And for people who are going through the traditional pipeline, is there some advice that you would give them?
Do your cases. Do the math. No, I would say like the traditional pipeline is it's tried and true, right? There are people who have done it before you. They know the process. It doesn't really change. Leverage those people. They can be your river guides. Because I think doing it alone is challenging and mentally taxing. I would say for me, if you're already in the case process and you've decided that you want to do consulting and you started to meet people and started preparing cases, do them with a partner. It's difficult and uncommon for people to practice problem solving out loud, but that's what they test you in the interview. And then just get to a point where you feel comfortable, but you feel like you're plateauing out. You know, like there's diminishing marginal returns for each additional case you do. At that point, kind of call it what it is and focus on something else, right? You don't have to overstress yourself for the interview. I think a lot of people did, and that's honestly how you burn out in the interview and also in the job.
I interviewed for McKinsey and consulting my junior year.
I didn't know that.
For internships. This was when I was either going to go the consultant route or product manager route for my junior year internship. And I remember practicing a case with one of my friends from college who's a couple years older. They were already working in McKinsey. They were helping me prep. After our prep, and I never told this to him, I cried. I was so stressed out because at one part of the case, you know, he was helping me.
Yeah.
And he was just like kind of grilling me on the numbers and asking me to do a lot of mental math right there on the spot. And I was just like already so flustered and nervous that like I said something wrong. And then I was like an order of like magnitude off, and it was just like, what? And I just felt so dumb that afterwards I was like, I remember just collapsing on my bed. I was like, thanks so much for helping me out. Hang up. And I was just like what just happened?
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Yeah. It is tough. It's in that environment, it's high pressure. There's someone looking at you and you feel like every second you take is 5 minutes. Like you have to fill time and you have to think really fast. And I think that's what the case is supposed to test. It's like, can you perform under pressure? Unfortunately, sometimes you end up crying afterwards, and that's fine. But did you do another case? Like, did you feel more comfortable as you went?
I felt more comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I knew the process was going to be super tough, and I had to keep at it if this is something that I want to do.
Yeah, that's so right. And I think up until this point, it's still true. The hardest I've ever worked for anything was my McKinsey offer.
Really?
Yes, it was. Well, so I applied junior year, similar to you. Didn't get the internship at the time, so I then went to work for Capital One, and then came around for the second time for full-time hiring, and then sort of got the offer. But between over the course of that like year and 4 months, it was just always in my mind. Continue prepping, cased over the summer while I was working the internship, cased at school, did the networking, met the people. It was
a grind.
It was a grind, and I was like very steadfast in sort of what I wanted, and I knew I was gonna do it.
Very determined.
Thank you.